There we go. We are recording our guest expert session today with Niamh Corcoran, if I pronounced it well, but there'll be correction of the names for sure. And I'm really excited about this session, and that made me to post today, which many people saw the post. So I'm quite happy that I hit the nail on the. So it's really interesting subject, and body confidence, and I was thinking about this today a lot, because I was thinking actually, how is confidence and body confidence different, like confidence in general and body confidence, if there is any difference? I've never thought about it like this, and actually it made me to write a post which I'll be sharing in the next couple of days because it's not finished. It just made me to kind of go back in my life and what I was thinking and doing with my body, which was definitely related to body confidence and also confidence in general. So I'm excited for this session to see what will come out of it. And journaling for body confidence is something which I would never think of doing, actually. So I'm really excited for this session to learn a little bit more how we can actually use journaling and how it can help us with our body confidence. So I would like to welcome our guest today, and I will ask her for a little introduction as well before we start with the topic.
Hello, I'm Niamh. As Bunny so nicely introduced me, I'm a Reiki master. So everything I do comes under the umbrella of Reiki, which is energy healing. And I'll go through a little bit about that on my presentation, not too much. But I discovered journaling, way back in 2012. I'd been suffering really badly from anxiety and depression, and somebody told me to journal. And I was just sitting down every day and just writing. And it just seemed like I was writing the same stuff over and over again. And one day I just got so frustrated with it, I was about to throw my journal across the room and say, you know, this is doing no good. I'm just repeating the same rubbish time and time again. And a prompt popped into my head, and that prompt was, what do I need right now? So I sat and I wrote it. And then it just seemed like these questions just kept coming into my head. And so that's how I've developed my journaling. So I do journaling for pains and aches and illnesses. I do journaling for emotions triggered, body confidence. In fact, I can probably come up with questions for almost anything. That's one of the things through my journey through anxiety and depression I realized, is that I have a real skill for asking people the right questions for them to come to their own answers. They don't necessarily need to answer the questions when I ask them, but they go away and they come up with their own answers to the questions that solve their problems. So that is my history with the journaling and where this has come from. And it just sometimes seems somebody will come up with a problem and I just get this list of questions and I'll send it out there.
I think this is sort of a gift, because I wouldn't think of coming up probably with questions in this way. But if I think about what I'm teaching, I do come up with questions which relates to the thing which I'm trying to teach to my client, and my client can't get it. So I'm trying to find a different ways of explaining and probably coaching the person on a obviously topic of body, but in a sort of different way. So I guess it might be similar. So let's.
Yeah, but you're going with the physical, where I go for more.
Exactly, I go with physical.
Mine's more the emotional and the mental. So.
Exactly. Right. Let's find out more.
Right. Can I share my screen?
Yes, you can.
Yeah. Okay. There we go. Okay. Can you see that?
Yes, we can see. Yes.
Okay. I don't know if I can move that. Oh, that's at the end of the presentation. I am really sorry. I don't know how that happened. Let's flick all the way back. Right. So, I mean, can I move this thing here? I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, write yourself to self-love is what I call this kind of presentation. So who am I? I've already said this. I'm Niamh. I'm a Reiki master teacher. I also facilitate meditation. So we're going to be doing some meditation tonight as well. And I call myself a writing for wellbeing mentor. I've written all my life, mostly poetry, some short stories and fiction. And then obviously I got into the journaling, which really helped me. So that's where the writing for well-being comes. I use with my clients, I often use poetry and things as well, because sometimes it actually really helps them to get into the source of their feelings. So I use a combination of all of my Reiki training, meditation practice, journaling, and creative writing to help others. So a lot of my clients come to me with anxiety and depression and stress, but a lot of that stems from not being confident in themselves and in their bodies. And when we're not confident in ourselves and we're not confident in our bodies, we tend to treat our bodies badly. So we don't eat the right foods, we don't sleep well, we don't exercise properly, because we're not showing our body love and respect, and we're not in tune with them, we're not listening to what we need. So my whole approach comes from learning to love and respect the body first before we can really start to change everything else. So in Reiki, we have what we call our 3 tandem points. You've probably heard of chakras, which in Sanskrit, there are 7 chakras. In Reiki, we have 3 tandem points. We have the upper tandem, which is your intuition, your creativity, and also lightness. So if you feel kind of light in spirit, light in mind, happiness, it's kind of up there. Your flexibility as well. So how flexible you are in life. Some of us are so stuck in our own ideas and notions that we find it really difficult to move out of them. And also your connectedness also to heaven or level of spirit. If you believe that we have a soul or that there's a God or whatever, this tandem controls that aspect. The middle tandem, or your heart, is your sense of completeness. So you being complete as a person. So your body, your soul, your mind. It's also what brings you balance, and your awareness of oneness or interconnectedness. So we are all connected on one level. We're all connected because, for a start, we're on the planet Earth. So we all have that physical connection with the planet. But we're also, and again, it's down to personal belief, but I believe they're all connected on a soul level and a spiritual level. So it's the middle tandem that connects that. And also that's the one that sometimes, if you're open, you can meet somebody and you kind of know them immediately. That's the oneness, that's the connection. Yeah. And then we have the lower tandem, or hara, which is about 2 centimeters below your navel. And that represents your body's health. So any physical issues you have, any illness, it can leave you, if it's not open, it can leave you feeling heavy. But it also is your groundedness and your connections to the earth energy. So Reiki is the umbrella I work under. And as well as the 3 tandems, we actually have 4 levels of healing. So we have spiritual, I can't see the slide here, the thing's in the way. The energy, we have three levels of energy. So we have our earth energy, which is our physical form. So that's your body. Heaven energy, which is your thoughts, your creativity. And then your oneness, which is your connection to others and to the universe. So that'll be all your relationships and how you are in them. But all of these are interconnected. So if you are not at home and not confident in your physical form, in your body, then your thoughts are going to reflect that, which is also then going to reflect your relationships with other people. So we have 4 levels of healing. So the spiritual, which is your level of connection, your intuition, and your inner guidance. And again, everybody has intuition. Everybody has instincts. We talk about gut feelings. If you've closed off your spiritual connection or your intuition, then you can't listen to your body. So you might get a pain or an ache. And we in the West immediately run off to the doctor and say, oh, I've got tummy ache, give me tablets. Whereas actually, if you actually sit and listen into your body, you realize that stomach ache hasn't come from a physical illness. You haven't got an ulcer, or you haven't got a stomach bug or whatever. What's actually going on is that an experience or an event in your day or the past few days has triggered past emotions that you haven't actually processed. And at that time, you stored that in that part of your body. I believe we store our memories and our emotions and our traumas in our body, and they manifest as pain or aches or indeed illness. So you've got your mental which again is linked to all of them, which is your thoughts and your attitudes. And a lot of that comes from our upbringing as well, and how we were treated by our parents, by peers, by teachers, in our relationships. So we form those thoughts and attitudes over the years. And they are ever changing, but some of our thoughts and our core beliefs don't change, and they're the ones that we actually need to work on. So emotional, again, how you're feeling and what you're experiencing. And we can be sometimes very, very in the moment. So we experience something and it feels quite traumatic. But then we just very quickly, because we live in a 24-hour world and we're so busy, we often don't allow ourselves to actually feel what we're feeling. We just move on to the next thing and the next thing and the next thing, and we kind of forget about it. And then you get thrown back into a similar situation, and all of a sudden you've got a pain in your knee or you've got a pain in your shoulder. And that's because something that happened to you that relates to that body area, you still have the emotions and the memory in your body, but you haven't actually processed it. I hope this is all making sense, yeah? And then we have physical, your body, your pains and your illnesses. And again, they're all linked to the other three. So a lot of our pains and illnesses, I mean, yes, I'm not discounting the fact that there are actual physical sources, there are diseases, you know, and you can have, you know, inflammation in your body, which cause things that, you know, chronic fatigue and arthritis, and they're all real illnesses, and people suffer really badly with them. But a lot of it can be relieved as well through our thoughts and our attitudes and our feelings, because, you know, when you're feeling tense, any illness you do have suddenly flares up. I mean, I have a friend at work who suffers from chronic rheumatoid arthritis. Now, she finds that when she gets really, really stressed, that flares up. So she meditates and she does lots of things to try and keep herself relaxed. So, and she feels, when she feels herself getting stressed, she knows now it's time to go and do something, because otherwise I'm going to have a flare up, and then she can't come into work, and it just affects every part of her life. So we can do things to help ourselves with our pains and our illnesses as well. So, you know, I'm not saying it's all in the head. It's definitely not all in the head, but it's all related. So we are going to, so a lot of it comes from our limiting beliefs and thoughts as well. So when we address those, we heal on all levels. So when you learn to release your old traumas, your hurts, your memories, you can actually release some of that physical pain and the illness as well. My Reiki master talks to somebody who had a chronic cough, and he just could not get rid of this cough. He was going back and back to the doctor, and eventually they thought, oh, you know, we're going to send you down the route for lung cancer, because we really think, you know, we can't find the source. So he was going down this, you know, he was having the CT scans and the MRIs and everything was coming back clear. And my Reiki master gave him a Reiki treatment, and at the end of the treatment, he said to him, "You're not using your voice. This is what your cough is about. You are stuck in a situation that you can resolve if you just learn to use your voice and explain what you want and what you need." And so he went away and he thought about this, and he realized that like, he was being really put upon his job. His talents weren't being recognized, and he was being given work that he wasn't enjoying. So he actually got the courage to go in and talk to his boss. And as soon as he talked to his boss, as soon as he got this off his chest and his throat chakra released, the cough went. So a lot of it is, I mean, that doesn't always happen. It takes time, especially, you know, if it's been with us for a very, very long time. So we're going to do some meditation, some journaling. We're going to examine what I really call our wobbly bits. So they're the bits of our body that we think we don't like. And I use the word think because actually, yeah, a lot of the time that's come from somewhere else. It's not our true, real feelings. We're brought up in a society where we're bombarded with images, and we're told this is how we should look, this is how we should be. And so we take on that, but we're not actually seeing ourselves as we truly are. I talk about the body being a walking miracle. In fact, we are walking miracles. If you think about what your body does for you without even being asked, without you having to do anything, you are a walking miracle. So we need to learn to appreciate that and to appreciate every little bit of that, rather than looking at it and picking holes in ourselves and thinking, oh, well, you know, all the influencers on Instagram have beautiful blonde straight hair. Look at mine, it's frizzy and brown. Or, you know, I wish I had a really straight nose instead of this lumpy bumpy thing. Or, you know, there's all sorts of things we think about and we look at ourselves and we don't like. So that's what we're going to address today, and we're going to address some of the beliefs and things around there. So you will need a notebook and pens or pencils, whatever you prefer to write with, and possibly some tissues. I've had a few people get quite emotional during these sessions, but that's fine. I will say that I am not a counsellor, so I'm not therapy trained or anything. So if something does come up, I'm happy to talk you through it if you want to or need to. I never ask people to share anything that if they're not comfortable sharing. So if you just want to write and keep things to yourself, that's absolutely perfectly fine. If you want to share with the group, please feel free to share. But I cannot deal with any trauma or anything. So if you think something's going to be too traumatic for you, don't go there. Book a counsellor and do it with them. So if everybody's kind of ready, we'll get started. So we're going to start with a short gratitude meditation. So the point of this is to open us up. So it relaxes us, opens up our mind to new ideas and new thoughts. So, and also if at any point during the rest of this workshop you feel overwhelmed or emotional, you can come back to this feeling of gratitude. So I'm going to ask you now to put your feet flat on the floor if you can, and to just close down your eyes and to put your hands, palms up in your lap or on the desk in front of you, just so that you can relax and sit back and relax. And just take a couple of really deep breaths in, as deep as your body will allow you to. And just sigh all that out. So just big sigh out. So just let it all come out. Let all the stresses of the day leave you. This is your space and your time now for you. So just allow yourself to come back to normal breathing. So we're just watching the breath now. We're not forcing it. We're just allowing our breath to come back to its normal, natural rhythm. And we're allowing parts of our body to relax. So I want you to just do a quick body scan. So starting with your toes. How do your toes feel? Can you feel whether they're cold or warm? Can you feel each toe individually? Or are they just all kind of lumped together? Don't worry if you can't feel what I'm asking you. This is just to kind of give you a sense and something to focus on. So now moving back up to the top of your foot. If you're in bare feet, maybe you can feel the air on your skin. If you're wearing socks, maybe you can feel the fabric of the socks or your shoes on the top of your feet. What about the soles of your feet? Can you feel the ground firm underneath them? And coming up now to your ankles, allowing the muscles around your ankles to just let go, to relax. And let your calves and your shins just kind of relax, let go. Noticing any sensations and allowing your knees to relax. And the fronts of your thighs and the backs of your thighs. Your buttocks and your whole pelvic region are relaxed. Feel your abdomen. As you breathe in and out, it's still going to keep working, even though you're relaxing it. Allow your rib cage to relax, your chest, your shoulders. Feel your upper arms now relax, your forearms, and the palms of your hands and your fingers feel loose. Maybe they're warm, maybe they're cold. But imagine them being warm and they'll warm up. And allow your neck to just relax and your jaw to just drop and your tongue to rest naturally behind your teeth. Your cheekbones are relaxing, your eye sockets. That little furrow in your forehead between your eyebrows, that's gone completely. And allow your scalp to relax. Maybe you can feel it tingling. Maybe you can feel heat. And now your whole body is relaxed. I want you to take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, bring somebody or something or a place, something to mind that brings you great joy, that actually creates the biggest smile on your face. And let yourself smile. Let that person, place, object, pet, whatever it is, allow it to bring a great big smile to your face. Allow yourself to feel the joy they bring, the love, and allow it to light a little heart, a little flame in your heart center. And as you inhale and exhale, allow this little flame to grow brighter and bigger till it spreads out across your chest. Now it's spreading down your abdomen into your pelvic region. It's spreading down your thighs, your shins, your calves, your feet. This is your light of gratitude. Allow it to spread now down your arms, into your elbows, your forearms, into your hands, up over your head. As you inhale, allow this light of gratitude to spread out into your aura. And keep the image of this person, place, or object in front of you and say, thank you, thank you, thank you for being in my life. You bring me so much joy. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And just allow that light to spread out into your aura so you're a ball of love and gratitude. And really feel into this feeling of joy and love and thanks that you're giving for this person, this place, this object. And allow yourself to relax into it. This is your love, your joy, your gratitude. You can come back here at any time. When you're ready, take a couple of deep breaths in and just sigh it all out. And then rub your hands together briskly to bring some energy back in. And open your eyes and come back into the room. Okay, everybody okay? Yeah. Okay, good. Right, so now we're going to start our journaling session. So we're going to think about something that we like about our body. So that's the first thing. I just want you to write down one thing about your body that you like. So you don't need a full sentence here. You don't need a word. That's the other thing with journaling is we're not worrying about grammar. We're not worrying about spelling. We're not worrying about how we form our sentences or anything. This is coming from the heart. And when we start to worry about perfection, that takes away from the space we're in. So now we're going to answer the following questions. Oops, that's two came up together, but what do I like about this body part? So what do you actually like about it? And then the second question, which popped up on the screen there, is why do I like this part? Are we ready to move on, or are we still writing? Ready to move on. Okay, the reason I start with this is, and with the gratitude is so we have something positive to start off with and to come back to. So now we're going to think about something. Oh no, now we're going to, the next question is, how does thinking about it make me feel? So how does thinking about this body part that I actually like make me feel? Okay. So now we're on to something that you think you dislike about your body. So again, just write down what it is that you think you dislike. And then we're going to write about what do we dislike about this body part. So what do I actually dislike about it? Why do I dislike this part? Now, some people find that the what and the why are kind of similar. That's okay. Everything's okay in journaling. And then the next question is, how does thinking about it make me feel? Are we ready to move on? Yep. Okay, so now we're going to take this a little deeper. So now we're going to dive into where do these feelings and beliefs come from? So who first told you anything about this body part, or who first mentioned it? Or do you, sometimes it takes 2 or 3 sessions like this to actually work out where they feel the feelings come from. Sometimes you can just, but if you just kind of just let yourself go and just write anything that comes to your mind, don't worry about what you're writing. I often find that when we just write something, that's usually the truth. So are they really mine? So are the feelings and beliefs and thoughts you have about this body part really yours? And the next question, are we ready? Yeah. That one. If they're not mine, whose are they? Oh, I'm going backwards there. If they're not mine, why do I believe them? Are we ready to move on, or are we still writing? Okay, so let's go even deeper on this. So now, How do I talk to myself about this body part? So what do you say to yourself when you look in the mirror, when you think about it? Or so what are you actually saying to yourself about it? How do I talk to others about it? How would I like to feel about this body part? So now we're going to look at kind of healing. So I want you to write down what the function of this body part is. And a lot of the time people think, oh, well, you know, this particular body part doesn't have a function. Well, if it's our nose, it has lots of functions. It breathes for us. It has a sense of smell. Our hips help us move forward. So do our knees. Our knees help us bend. So if you're stuck and you need help, just throw it into the group and we can help you. But yes, so the function of this body part. And when we're done with that, we're just going to take our hands and rub them together to create some heat. And some energy. Now, when you're doing this, you'll notice that when you rub your hands together, and then if you pull them apart, you can actually feel the energy bouncing between your hands. Yeah. So we're going to rub them to make some heat. And then what I want you to do is, if you can, and it's not, you know, something you want to do in public, you may not want to place your hand on that body part that you've been thinking about. But if you can and you want to do, or otherwise just place them on either on your heart center or on your hara, which is just below your navel, which is the tendon for the physical, the body. So we're just going to put our hands here and we're going to feel the heat. And then we're going to close your eyes. And I want you to just sit there and just feel the warmth of your hands on the body part, on your body. It doesn't matter where they are. Just feel the hands on your body, feel the warmth. And send that body part gratitude for all it does for you. So I want you thinking of its function. I want you thinking of what it does for you each and every day. So when you got up this morning, was it functioning? Maybe this body part doesn't function as you would like it or as you expect it to. That doesn't matter. Send it love and send it gratitude. You wouldn't scold a child for trying something, for when, you know, it's new to it, or because it's a child and it's trying to do a task. We don't scold a child, we give it encouragement. So if this body part is not functioning as you would expect or you would like, send it love. Thank it for what it can do and what it does do. And send it love and send it gratitude. So we're going to finish now with a short guided meditation to help you heal your thoughts around this particular body part. So we've been sending it love and we've been sending it gratitude. And we've been thinking about its function. So now I want you to think back to what you wrote in your journal, to the beliefs you have about this body part. It's the most potent belief, the one that kind of maybe affects your day-to-day living. What is this belief? And if you remember from your journal, is it your belief or is it somebody else's belief? Still sending love and gratitude to this body part. And thinking about the beliefs around it and why you believe those beliefs. I want you now to thank whoever gave you those beliefs. Say thank you for these beliefs and these thoughts around this body part. I know now they are not true. I know now they are not true. I release these old thoughts and these beliefs about this body part because they are not mine and they are not true. I release these beliefs and thoughts about this body part because they are not mine and they are not true. This part of my body functions as it is designed to, as it is meant to. I see it as healed, whole, and healthy. From now on and this day forwards, I treat it with love and kindness. I speak kind words to it and about it, for it is part of me. It is part of me as a whole, and I could not function without it. I release the beliefs and thoughts that I held about this body part that are not true. I release the thoughts and beliefs about this body part that I held that are not true. And now you can picture maybe your journal with the thoughts and the beliefs written in, or maybe you can just picture them in your mind. And just watch those words disappear off into the ether. Or maybe you blow them into a balloon, you send that balloon off into the stratosphere. Or maybe you want to burn them away. Whatever works for you. Just visualize those thoughts and those beliefs leaving you, leaving your body. And now you can bring in your new beliefs. Because you are whole. You are healthy, you are love, and every bit of you deserves love. So with your mind on this body part, say thank you, thank you, thank you for what you do for me. I love you. I love you. I love you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You are whole, you are healthy, you function just the way you were designed to do in my body. You function just the way you were designed to do in my body. I love you, I love you, I love you. And just sit with that feeling for a moment. Just allow whatever thoughts, whatever comes up to come up. You might feel resistance. That's okay. Whatever you feel is okay. Just treat yourself with kindness, compassion, gentleness, as you would the other people in your life. You've done some good work today in releasing the thoughts and beliefs and learning to love yourself a little bit more. So give your thanks for that, yourself thanks for that. Because every day you work on yourself, you take a step forward to a brighter, more confident future and a brighter, more confident you. Just breathe into whatever sensations are coming up now, whether they're emotional, physical, whether they're thoughts. Just allow whatever to arise. And if you wish to, you can jot down in your journal anything that's coming up. And when you're ready, you can just lower your hands back to your lap. Take a few deep breaths in and sigh it all out. And then wiggle your toes and your fingers, maybe give your arms a shake. Roll your shoulders back a few times. And when you're ready to come back into the room, open your eyes. Okay, that's kind of me done with that. So if there's any questions or any feedback, that, we're all a bit stunned still.
I did struggle with it. I think when you asked, is it true? My answer was yes.
Okay.
But I have had possibly 2 people that helped me to believe it's true in my life.
Okay.
So that was my dad when I was early teenage years. Well, no, I probably was older than that because I'd left home. Not much older though. And he'd said that I put on weight, but he said it in such a way that was quite like judgmental.
Yes, yeah.
And another time was when I hadn't seen a friend for a while, and she didn't recognize me, she said, in the cafe, and she said I was so plump, which was yeah. But
yeah.
It is also the fact, it is, I suppose I say yes, I believe it because it is a fact I do not like these body parts. I just don't like them. And what you said earlier about not, looking after self, not loving self, is probably me because I'm actually not looking after my body. I'm not sleeping well, but I'm not looking after my body in terms of not doing, I am obviously teaching Pilates, but I'm not doing exercise for me at much anyway. I go walking and I don't eat that well in terms of healthy food. And sometimes I don't eat enough.
Yeah, I mean, that's really hard, and you're battling a lot there.
Yeah.
So, and when somebody else tells us something about our body, it's so hard not to believe that is true.
Yeah.
But what I ask, is it true for you? If you had not been told those things, would you be criticizing that particular body part?
I was thinking about that, and I thought, before that person said that, this friend, because my dad obviously was years and years ago, maybe I didn't feel that bad until,
Yeah, because a lot of the time we don't even notice these things. That my daughters, when my daughters got to be teenagers and they were starting into the makeup and all the rest of it, they wanted to practice on me. And they told me, you don't have any eyebrows, Mum, your eyebrows are awful. I'd never even noticed my eyebrows at that point. Like, I wasn't somebody who, you know, I was brought up in an era when we didn't do all that sort of stuff. So I'd never plucked my eybraws, you know, I'd never done anything with them. And then all of a sudden I kind of became paranoid about my eyebrows because my daughters. So, but I know that's not true. My eyebrows, I mean, they're eyebrows. And I don't dislike them or anything because of that. And I've gone back to just kind of ignoring them because that's just my way. But it really can affect us. So that's why I ask, you know, where do these beliefs come from? Because actually it wasn't your belief. It's not true to you for you.
No. Maybe.
It was somebody else's opinion, somebody else's judgment, which you've allowed yourself to take to heart. And then you've allowed, and I'm guilty of this too, we allow other people's opinions and judgments and criticisms to filter how we live our lives. And then we do things that are not good for us because we're trying to drown out those. What we're trying to do is drown out our true feelings. We're trying to drown out those feelings that say, you know, I know this isn't true. And you're fighting it. You're fighting an internal battle, which is really hard, which is why you turn to all the things that are bad for you.
So it's like the function of the body. I thought, well, what does it do? And well, I knew the tummy, but it's my boobs. I hate them because they're so big. They're part of my mum. And I feel they just pull me down. That's their function. They pull me down.
Breasts are they're nurturing. They're used for feeding children.
Yes, but I didn't have children, so I thought
if you want to look at it from a sexual point of view, they're also part of our sexual attraction. But they're not just nurturing in terms of feeding children. Your bosom provides comfort. Even just looking at a woman with a big bosom can make you feel comfort. Cosseted, cuddled. I have quite big boobs. My kids used to love them. They used to love sort of, you know, cuddling on. Even still, my son will come and he'll cuddle up and, you know. And I've lost an awful lot. Menopause has done strange things to me. Most women complain about putting on weight.
Putting on weight, you didn't.
I've gone the other way. Can't keep weight on. And so my kids complain, oh, Mum, you're not cuddly anymore. You're not, you know. And I said, well, you know, you can't have everything.
No, you can't, no.
But they're there for nurture and comfort and reassurance. And I don't know, do you have children?
No. I suppose that's why, because I thought, well, they function, But
it's not just children who get comfort and reassurance and breasts. We talk about our bosom buddies. I don't, you know,
yeah, that's true, but I don't get comfort from them.
Maybe it's time you started.
Yeah.
You know, when we hate on a body part, it kind of we focus on it, and then we kind of it just changes everything. So when you were sending love to it, how did that feel?
It felt quite good, actually. Yeah.
So come back. You know, I presume I put this up on your membership. So come back to this meditation again.
Yes, I will.
Or even just sit there at night and put your, you know, if you're sitting at home alone, or you know, or even it doesn't matter if anybody else is around, you know, sit there, hands on your boobs and say, I love you. I love you. You bring me great comfort and joy.
Yeah.
You know, if you do this often enough, you'll start to believe it.
Yes.
And that's the whole point. You know, I use affirmations as well. I also do another workshop with people creating affirmations from their journal. So we create affirmations. We turn their negative beliefs around and create affirmations.
I have done that actually, so I need to pick that up again.
So just sit there, hold your boobs. I love you. I love you. You bring me great comfort and joy. That's all you need. It doesn't, who cares about anybody else, as long as you are comfortable and joyful in your body with yourself.
Thank you.
The relationship you have with you is the longest relationship you're ever going to have with anybody.
Yeah.
Rejoice in that relationship.
I mean, I've been with the food. I mean, Bonnie knows I've been like this for quite a while now. So
I know, and
I know.
but
I
it's never.
think it's comfort eating as well, obviously.
Yeah, but it's never too late to change. But comfort eating, again, you can look at that and look into why you're doing it. And if you know you're comfort eating,
I know,
that's a fantastic start, because a lot of people don't even recognize that. So the next time when you go to comfort eat, actually stop, stand still or sit down and ask your body, what are you trying to tell me here? What am I missing? What emotion am I not processing? Because when we're comfort eating, we're stuffing things down, basically. That's what we're doing. We're stuffing down our emotions.
Yeah.
I mean, I spent years, I'm eating, those family sized bars of chocolate every night, because I was stuffing down
it's
everything
funny because it's not the amount. I don't eat that much, but it's all the wrong stuff. Not always, but
yeah. I mean, the thing. I mean, the way I tackled that for myself was, I mean, I use Reiki, so I was doing Reiki treatments. I was using affirmations with certain hand treatments, but I started just introducing like small healthy changes. So not change. So when you go for this whole change everything, it doesn't work, because it just feels too hard.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
So I just started, like one of the chocolate bars in the afternoon, I would swap out for an apple. I mean, I'm now at the point where I eat the 90% whatever cocoa chocolate.
Oh yes.
I have no cravings for any of the other. Like I could never open a packet of biscuits without eating the whole damn thing.
No.
Now I don't have biscuits in the house. I can't remember the last time I bought biscuits. I walk into the supermarket and I go straight for the vegetables. I eat vegetables, fish, and I eat some dairy.
Yeah.
And that's it. And I walk past all these aisles, and my daughter hates going to Sainsbury's with me, because I walk past all the confectionery and the biscuits going, poison, they're trying to poison us, it's mass murder.
Mass
Which it is.
Yeah.
It is. It's mass murder.
It is really.
Because this stuff is killing us.
Yes.
But because we crave it. So we have to switch that off somehow.
Yeah.
But we can't do it. It's not like we can just flick a switch.
No, we can't.
Like, the electricity or the lamp, and it all goes off. You have to do it gradually, and you have to treat yourself, as I said during that meditation, with kindness and compassion.
Yeah.
And not beating yourself up because you didn't do it. Like you had a bar of chocolate instead of an apple today. Okay, that's great. Not great, but you don't beat yourself up about it. You say, okay, we're having a bad day. We slipped up. We know we shouldn't have done that. And then question yourself. My whole journey has been about questioning myself. Why did I feel the need to do that today? What am I repressing? What am I trying to not feel, not process?
Yeah.
That's where a lot of this comes from. And then the sleep, a lot of us don't sleep properly because, and I'm guilty of this one too. I get caught up in shiny new objects on the computer. In the back end of my website, or I'll see something on somebody else's website, think, oh, that's really cool. I wonder how I do that. And I'll be up until 3 o'clock in the morning trying to work it out. And I think, no, you've got to be up at 5:45 for school, because I teach part-time as well.
Oh, do you?
So, and I think, oh my God, why am I still up when I've got to be up in 2.5 hours time? So that I've kind of tried to rein back in. Like, I've set reminders on my phone and my Fitbit and everything that buzz me and say, it's time to go to bed now. And I know I feel so much better when I'm actually sleeping properly. And I do, I sleep really well.
Yeah.
But my issue is I often stay up too late. But it's making the tiny little changes. And you don't go gung-ho and try and change everything. So maybe tomorrow night you can try go to bed 15 minutes earlier than you've been going to bed. And then next week you bring it back another 15 minutes. Yeah. And then the following week back another 15 minutes. So you're doing it gradually. But by the end of the month, you're going to bed a whole hour earlier. Yeah.
I'm feeling negative about that. I don't feel that would work for me, because if I go I don't go that late anyway. So if I go about 10, 10:30.
Yeah, that's not late, no.
And then I read or do Sudoku, because I know somebody told me that's too stimulating, but it isn't. It makes me sleepy. And I'll do that until about 11, 1/2 at the latest, and then I'll go to sleep, hopefully.
Yeah.
But sometimes I do,
Hopefully.
sometimes I don't. And then,
Okay.
yeah,
That's the hopefully.
that's the
Get rid of
worst.
the hope.
I know.
Get rid of the hopefully.
hopefully. Yeah.
Yeah. I then
Yeah.
go to sleep.
I
Just
then go to
accept the
sleep.
fact. There's a lot of it as well. Accepting. You just accept the fact that you sleep. And I don't believe in this. Get up and wander around the house and have a cup of tea and do your ironing in the middle of the night if you can't sleep.
I don't.
What cured insomnia for me was just staying with it, just lying in bed, awake.
Yeah, I have tried.
And eventually you get bored enough that you fall asleep.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, I have tried that. I do get up, I'll be honest, sometimes, and watch the television, and that actually does help.
Yeah. Okay. If that helps. Yeah.
That
Because
does
I mean,
help.
obviously.
Only for an hour or so.
Yeah. I mean, we're all different, so different things work.
Yeah.
I mean, I find meditation really helps get me to sleep as well. And also Reiki, because I'm Reiki trained. I will just.
Yes, of course. Yeah.
I connect to Reiki, and then I have to set the intention that Reiki will switch off when I fall asleep, because like within about 10 minutes of connecting to Reiki and putting my hands here, I'm gone. So yeah, there are all sorts of things that can help you.
Yeah.
But it's again like changing your lifestyle habits. You, as I said, you can't just go and do everything all at once. You have to set a goal, set an intention, and just do it. Like so, even if you wanted to do more exercise, you set a goal that you're going to walk for 10 minutes.
To be honest, I was walking every morning, then I stopped. So this week I've so far walked twice. So I started that, and also I'm starting the simple thing. Drinking more water.
The other thing I always recommend to the clients I work with is to actually keep an accomplishments diary or journal, or if you're using, or if you journal.
Yeah, again,
just
I
to
used
the end
to do
of
that.
it.
Yeah, I did.
Five things I did today.
Yeah.
Or all the things you accomplished today. I got up. I mean, for people like with depression or anxiety, quite often it's frequently I got up, I brushed my teeth, I got dressed.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, they can be massive accomplishments for some
people. They can be, yeah.
I went for a walk, and then like by the time you get to Wednesday, I've walked 3 days this week. Yay!
Yeah.
So you're constantly praising yourself.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Because we get into the habit of beating, oh my God, I didn't walk today. Now it's 11 o'clock at night and I need to go to bed and I haven't been walk and I feel blah and I feel blah.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have a biscuit. And we get ourselves into these cycles and it's so hard to get out of.
It is, yeah.
And it's just, you just have to make little changes, but you have to keep praising yourself for the little changes, kindness, compassion, and praise.
Oh yeah, that's what I don't do for myself.
Yeah.
I do it to others, but not me.
Yeah. Treat yourself with the same kindness and compassion as you treat everybody else.
Okay. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of people say to you, please do not beat yourself up. You're always beating yourself up.
But when you're in a habit of in a cycle of when you've been doing it for years, it's so hard to get out of it. So just catch yourself. Yeah. You do it. So next time you catch yourself doing it, say, thank you. Yeah. I don't need that. You're doing really well today.
Yeah.
You've done this, or that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or I am doing the best I know how with the information I have at this moment in time.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. Helpful.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I just would like to add to this. This is very good conversation, and I can see myself in it as well with different, things, because we all do it. We are not, perfect. What I find easy for me, and I did started to work on a little bit more in depth about everything about me, like, gradually last year. What I find the easiest thing in terms of changing things, rather than telling myself, okay, I will do 20 minutes exercise a day, and then I don't do it. So what I find easier is to do, to reverse engineer of what I really want. And I think that the journaling really helps in terms of really getting to the bottom of why I am doing things which I don't really want to do and I do it. So it could be why I didn't do that exercise, what has to change to do that exercise, or why did I snack on snacks at night my answer is always the same, but your answer might be different. But I know it about myself because I don't eat enough during the day, because I
Yeah,
have
that's
great
my
amount of
answer.
time.
Yes, yeah,
Because I am teaching, I have clients, I forget to drink, I am talking the whole day.
yeah.
I don't have time to just sit and be me and drink tea. And then I just have to grab something quick because I just have to go again. So that's my vicious cycle, but I know it. So I know I have to allow time. I need to allow more time in my diary. I shouldn't get overbooked. I need to plan my lunchtime. That should be 1 hour long, not just 10 minutes, 20 minutes quick, and so on. So basically, if you start with journaling things in terms of, okay, now I have some naughty stuff. Why did I have it?
Yeah.
Maybe because I didn't eat enough. Maybe because something happened in the day which really upset me. That's more work on a mindset, like someone sent me an email and I don't like it, or I don't know, client decided to leave, and and so on. So it could be anything, business wise, personal wise. So then we grab something and we feel bad, because how come then we feel guilty because we did something, we may think that we didn't do enough or whatever it is. And usually it's not the case.
No.
Usually it's just what we think rather than the reason why, for example, that client decided not to continue or whatever. Usually actually when you speak to the client, you find out that there was completely different reason, health-wise, and something else. So kind of trying to think about what came first rather than what came after.
Yes.
In terms of whatever you do or don't do, and you said you will do.
Yeah.
I find it much easier to really know the reason, because then I know what I have to do. I know I have to sit down, I have to plan better my day. That's my problem. What I struggle with. I struggle with planning. I have to allow well-being tasks in my diary. And actually I have to set the well-being tasks first in my diary, otherwise it gets full with the other bits. And I have to be more disciplined with, for example, bedtime. So that's my issue as well. I spend lots of time in the evening in front of the computer because that's my creative time. I start getting ideas and I have to go to bed.
Oh dear.
And if I don't go to bed at a certain time, I am not productive in the morning. My brain doesn't work.
No.
Then I get tired. Then I don't eat well. Then I snack on rubbish, and then just carries on until evening and goes in a cycle.
Yeah.
So it's knowing what is actually causing it, which could be your case, Isabel, maybe as well. If you don't sleep well, I sleep very well, but I don't get enough hours for me.
Right.
Unfortunately, I am the kind of person who needs 9 hours. It doesn't happen. I know I function brilliantly on 9 hours, but since I've got my son 5 years old, I don't get those 9 hours.
No.
So, but that's what my body is functioning the best. 8 hours is okay. 9 hours is like, oh, great.
Yeah.
And then everything else actually builds up on it. Then we get those bad habits, but also opinions, beliefs about ourselves because of those bad habits. So
when we change one thing, everything changes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I wanted to say, like I said to myself, I will record my wins, something positive every day in this little diary. Right. I have it here. And today I really sat in the morning, I said, stop. I was teaching, I had two sessions in the morning, and I said, now I am going to plan. Because if I don't plan, everything will go out of the window again. The first thing I did, I wrote down my wins, what I achieved. Even if it's little thing, which I think it's not really big win, but I know it is. So I just wrote down everything which came to my mind, which was positive. You may not call it win, but anything which was positive in the last, let's say, couple of days. But ideally, that would be something doing every day. Yes, you can do gratitudes. I find gratitudes not easy. I would find easier to find something positive, even if it was small thing. Like today, I could write down here that I did the planning. I really sat down and I was planning for whatever time I needed, even though there were more important things to do in a day. And I wrote down positive stuff in my little diary. Because
but those positives are gratitude in a way. I mean, because I write
exactly,
down
yeah.
I mean, I do.
Yeah.
I have a gratitude journal which I've been keeping for about 4 or 5 years now, and it's beside my bed. So the last thing I do at night before I go to sleep is write 5 things I'm grateful for that day. And some days they might be motivation to do my, get my content ready for my social media posts next week. So it's motivation so yours, could be motivation to do my planning. That's still great. It's gratitude. Anything that you're writing down positive and that you're grateful that's happened for that day, it's still gratitude. But yes, positivity and gratitude are kind of, the flip sides of the same coin, aren't they? So anything we can feel positive about in our lives, and even the tiny little things, like that really good cup of coffee you had, or it's just
that's true.
Or that the pen you picked up worked immediately.
Yeah,
you didn't have to scribble.
no.
It's just finding those tiny, also finding those in yourself as well.
You would soon notice you'd be irritated if you pick up loads of pens and none of them work. So why you not look at it good that it does work? Yeah,
because we tend to as humans we tend to focus on the negative a lot, unless you're one of them. Like, I have a client, he says people talk about the glass half full or half empty, so that I never got a glass.
Oh.
Okay, you need my help.
To be honest with you, I'll be honest, I don't even get that. Half full, I never know what it means.
Half full means you're optimistic, so you think of the glass as half full. So where if it's half empty,
but it's the same thing.
Yeah, it's half gone. It's kind of.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's kind of. Yeah,
it confuses me, that one. Yeah.
You can fill your glass however you like. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Just don't carry the weight of it around with you.
No.
It's time to put it down.
That's true.
Yeah. I think that really keeping track of what triggers our sort of bad habits is really, really useful, because then we can start actually reverse engineer those things. But we need to know where the trigger is. Another thing which I will do training on, it's in my schedule for so long, but I was trying to work on it myself before I share it. I really wanted to go through a little bit more in detail before I share it. So basically the training is going to be it's like a goal settings, but for well-being, in terms of what do you really want could be in your life, in your day, in your well-being, how you want to feel, whatever it is, and how you can set this sort of goal in a way that you will really go and achieve it, rather than saying yourself, I will do this today, and then it doesn't happen, and so on, because that may not be enough. So I have my sort of business goal, which I have recorded, so I can always come back to it. And I always have it in my head when I repeat it, so I start believing it. So it's something which I want to work on, because I know that's something very long term. These things doesn't happen overnight. And then I have some habits that I have to change to be able to achieve whatever I want to achieve. And I need to work on these habits, and these habits are not going to change straight away. It's really me working on it, and it may take me a while. It can take a year, it can take 2 years, whatever. But I have that habit, what I want to achieve, and I've got it recorded. I can listen to it, so I know what I'm aiming for. And then I have affirmations that are related to my goal, so I know exactly what I want from that goal, what it will give me. I know exactly how it looks like when I achieve the goal, and these are my specific affirmations for what I want to achieve. It's not just affirmation which I just pick from a book or something or app, even though I have affirmations I listen to, just to get my motivation up. So this is how I am setting sort of my kind of thing, but it could be for any little thing. It doesn't have to be a big thing. I have it for my big vision, but it could be for little thing in your life you want to get. It could be for weight loss, it could be for anything, for changing any of the habits. And it does work. It is a process, because you kind of work on those little habits that will move you forward, and you know about them, and you know if you change them you will get there.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that all makes sense.
But the training will come very soon.
Oh, that's
I finished
I'll be there.
with my goal settings, and it does work, so I'll share it very soon. And the journaling really helps with that as well. Because that's what I did when I was setting the goals. At first, I wrote down everything. You can write down everything what you don't want and turn it what you want.
What you do want,
And then creating affirmations or gratitudes that are just for you, depending on these little things you find about yourself or in your life. And then you can create, I call it paradigm shift. So you create your habits change, and you can also create beliefs, something you really want to believe in, because you are believing in opposite.
Yes, like I love my boobs.
Exactly, like I love my boobs. Exactly, that's a belief. And you can also basically create a habit that will make you love those boobs, whatever it is. I don't know, buying a beautiful bra, whatever, wearing nice top, wearing something which will show off actually your body, rather than hiding, behind baggy clothing or t-shirt or whatever it is. But I believe as well, when you exercise, like it could be a Pilates style of exercise, whatever it is, it doesn't matter what it is. Rather than walking, I wouldn't call walking as exercise, even though I know it's walking. But we don't work the whole body. I find I don't know, I feel much better about me and my body when I have a good workout, like workout, when I'm feeling the whole body working out, basically, rather than walking. Walking doesn't give me the sense of my body is my body. Can't explain it.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I think for me, it's just getting outside. I need it for my head, but walking it is the first step, because I don't always feel that well. You're probably you're a lot slimmer than me, and you're a lot I think you probably, I mean, you're a lot younger as well, and you're probably what's the word, able to do more than I can. And it's only happened in the last couple of years. That's probably
not really
a limiting belief.
I think it is a limiting belief, because I use walking for clearing my mind, for listening something. So walking for me, it's like get out of the house, get out of my head. That's my that's why I do walk.
For your body. I got you.
So it's getting out of my head and just reset. Walking is for me essential for resetting, even if it's just 10 minutes to go and pick my son from school.
I think it's also a start for me for the walking, and I'll do more. I've got weights, I've got stability balls, I've got all the equipment. I could do it myself. I'm a member of a gym, and so I do want to do these things, and I want to go swimming, because that's a nice all over body workout. But what I'm feeling for the last couple of years, all since COVID really, that it is a limiting belief. I know I just can't do it, but I can. I'm not decrepit, but I can do it. So I don't know why I say I can't do it. I just find it really hard work at the thought of it, I think.
Is it the environment you don't probably maybe like, or you don't fancy to go to the gym and being among other people working out, or you don't fancy to go to the pool with other people around?
I go to the pool, right? But I only do the relaxation stuff. So the big spa pool, sauna, that sort of thing.
Okay,
I sometimes do swimming, but I find it quite boring now, going up and down, up and down. And also, I think that I have problems with my neck. which
swimming
doesn't
is
help.
not great. It tightens the neck if you do
Yeah.
breaststroke. Yeah.
Exactly, and that's what I do. And I try to get my head in. There's only so much you can do that. Obviously, you've got to breathe. Because I'm quite a good swimmer. I swim quite well. Technique is quite good, but I just worry about my neck. But sometimes it helps because of my shoulders are moving.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, in some ways. But as long as I don't do it too long because of my neck.
What about aqua exercises and this kind of stuff? If you like water,
I could do, because they do quite a few aqua classes there.
because usually I think when I used to work in a sort of gym environment, I had aqua classes, and the age groups were, I think, your age.
Yeah.
Because they were during the day.
They are. There's a lot more older people doing the aquas. They do them at this place actually they do it later there. They do it at 5 o'clock.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they do it at 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But doing something which you enjoy in the environment you really enjoy.
I do like the environment there. It's really nice. Yeah, because obviously I used to go to the old local, I only went for a year, council gym, and I didn't really like the environment there.
Yeah.
And there's another one, there's a Bannatynes in Burton. That environment was nice, but obviously where I am now, Champneys, is a lot nicer. But yes, you're right, environment is very important.
So do you feel it's more about you making the committed decision to go and start?
Yes. Yes, I think that's what it is. And obviously it's, I've been a personal trainer. I know that I've got to build it gradually. The walking will help me build up gradually. And when I've done more walking, then I add in more things. I do like going to the gym. And then I think, should I go to the gym? I think my problem is, as you know, I run a business. And I think I should stay at home and do all my admin. I should do this, I should do that, I should learn this, I should learn that. I think that is one of my biggest issues.
I get it, because I understand, I am on the same boat. But for this reason, the sort of setting the goal and so one of my habits I set for myself is well-being tasks, because I know if I feel better, I can serve better, and I can do better, and obviously I'm better wife and mom. So the well-being task in my business is actually very important productive task. Yeah, it's productive business task, because if I am not well, nothing goes well.
No, I mean, last week I had a bit of a meltdown and I had to cancel my Thursday night class.
Things happen. That happens to all of us. So again, you shouldn't beat yourself up for it. But for you, I feel is really start planning, really writing down, planning, setting your well-being task as a first, because that's basically better driver if you do your well-being first before your business.
Yeah, I know, and I put it on my plan. I've got a paper plan on Excel. I've got a planner board behind me. I put it on there, and somehow I didn't do the walking. I didn't do meditation. I didn't do this, but I've started straight into the work. But this
that's why that's the reset. Now you need to press the reset button and start all over again. But also writing down what you want, how you want your ideal day look like.
Yeah, I will. I do. I will. Yeah.
And then put your well-being task first, whatever it is you decide to do. If you like to join a class, just maybe do a trial. Instead of your work, go to the class, and then set yourself only one business task to achieve that day.
Yeah,
you will have more on your list,
but
something which will really, you feel like it will move you forward, rather than doing tasks which are nice to do, or spending time on Canva, or spending time on whatever it is we tend to do, and it's not really important. but doing one task which really, really moves you forward,
Yes.
or you feel moves you forward, even if
Yeah.
it was like a post advertising your classes, your membership, or whatever.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah, they're called non-negotiables. I have 3
Ex-
yoga classes in my
Oh, I was
diary
thinking,
in a
I was
week
trying to think about that
that are-
word the other day.
They're non-negotiable.
Yes,
When I took the
non-negotiables. Yeah.
when I took my current job on, I work all day Monday, Tuesday, and I work half days Wednesday, Thursdays. They originally wanted me for 5 mornings a week. And I said, no, I can't do that. I'm really sorry. I do yoga on a Friday morning, and I need it for my I need it for my physical health and for my mental well-being.
Yeah.
And so I thought, oh, well, I've talked myself out of this job, haven't I?
Yes.
And a few days later, I got a call and they were offering me the job. They said I was the best candidate there. And would I be prepared to work all day, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, half day, Wednesday, Thursday, rather than 5 mornings a week? And I said, yes, of course. Thank you. Because they understood. And so, yeah, that's a non-negotiable in my diary, unless, I mean, I missed my class yesterday because my son was having a crisis. But normally, Tuesday evening, Friday morning, Saturday morning, I go to yoga, and nothing else gets in the way.
Yeah.
I mean, I won't go on days out, or I'll tell people I can't start till 12:30 on a Saturday because I've got yoga. So, and everybody in my life knows that. Not to ask Niamh, because on a Friday morning or Saturday morning, because she's doing yoga. So, and that you know,
good.
my whole world runs around those 3 yoga classes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it is doable. You can do it.
It is doable, I know.
You have to just put it in your diary, and even if you don't do anything else that day, you can still congratulate yourself on the fact that you actually got up and you went out and you did your class, or you did your meditation, you did whatever it is you planned to do.
That's right, yeah.
And it comes back to Bonnie's positives at night. It's every day, every night, sitting down, looking at the things that you actually have achieved.
Yes,
rather than doing what we tend to do, sit down, look at our to-do list and think, I haven't done
I
haven't done. Yeah, looking at what we haven't done. Yes.
Yeah. I start every to-do list with write a to-do list. So when I'm finished, I can go back and tick that one off.
Yeah.
So you're starting on a positive already. You've got one thing to go through your list.
Yeah, I often get up on the board and say, right, okay, I've done that. I can tick it off. I've got lots of ticks there. Look, I've done a lot, really.
Yeah.
No, think about what you did rather than what you haven't done.
Yes,
because
definitely.
Okay, those what you haven't done, they are for the next day. Thank you very much. We are going to the next day box.
We do only have so many hours in a day, and we can only get so much done, no matter how much we like to think we can get in a day. Everything tends to, I mean, I've got the point now where I actually, if I think something's going to be an hour, I put 3 hours in the diary because I know everything expands to fill as much space as you will give it. But also, I don't want to feel that I'm rushing something and not giving it a good job, giving it my best. So if I put 3 hours in and I finish in an hour, that's great. I've got time to do something else.
Yeah.
But if I put an hour in, then I'm under pressure.
Yeah.
And I don't complete it as well as I could.
Well, I find that I get to the point, I'm sitting at the computer and I think, my brain's not working. It stopped working. And the only thing to do is go away and have a cup of tea. And then I go back and I'm fine. I've learned that recently. The thing is, I tend to think, no, I've got to get this done. I've got to get this done. But
sometimes we need to give ourselves a break.
Yeah.
I mean, the kids I work with, we have what we call movement breaks. So, I mean, most of the boys I work with, I see for half an hour. Like after 15 minutes, we have a movement break. Now, even if that movement break is me deliberately dropping my pen on the floor so they have to go and fetch it, it gives them a break. It gives them, and then we move on to a different task. Or I tell them, you're going to have to come around the table now and sit beside me because I want to do this and I want you to copy. So just have it just resets us when we get up and we do something different, even if it is only going to the bathroom or going to check if there's anything come in the letterbox or So I think you're doing a lot of good, and I think you're not giving yourself credit for the things that you are doing.
Probably not really. Yeah.
So start tonight. Your list of things you have achieved today.
Yeah. I mean, I know all these things. I know all this stuff. I do a lot of mindset work. It's ridiculous.
I know, but
sometimes
the thing
is reminding.
Yeah, you do. And sometimes when we're busy helping each other people,
Yeah,
we forget about ourselves because we're putting ourselves into our client's shoes, or we're thinking about what our client does. What does this person need? What do you know? How can I plan this class or this thing to get so that they get the best out of it? We don't look at how am I going to get the best out of teaching this?
no,
Yeah.
no, that's true. Yeah,
So
yeah,
yeah, I mean, it all comes back to you. You have to be, you're not giving your best to anybody if you're not in your best state yourself.
exactly. No, I
So
know.
you have to take care of
Yeah.
yourself first.
First, yeah,
Yeah. And then when you are fully embodied and confident, that comes across to what you're doing with everybody
it
else.
does. Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you actually feel better about what you're delivering as well, because you're
Yes.
delivering from a space of, hey, actually, I feel good. I'm doing this myself, so I can
Yeah.
tell you about it.
Yes. Yeah. That's it. Yeah.
100%.
Yes.
It doesn't come sort of natural to us because we are caring for lots of other people if we are, teaching, coaching other people.
Yeah.
So it's really difficult, but it is
yeah.
possible. I used to take lots of things and I couldn't sleep when I started to teach. And luckily, I got rid of it within probably the first year when I started to teach. I was thinking about my clients. I was waking up at night, thinking how I can help my client with thinking of different exercise or routine. I just had so many sleepless nights. Now I dropped it because it's, I'm giving them what they need. It's their responsibility for their body as well. It's not only me. The responsibility doesn't lie actually on me. Yeah. I'm giving them the tools and guidance they really need, and then it's up to them what they do with it.
That's it. Yeah.
So it sort of drops the pressure of me now. So I'm not having the sleepless nights, but I do give 110% to every single session. And that drains my energy. I can feel it even, like after session, even though I haven't done much.
No, I know what you mean.
I was just doing my job.
Yeah.
I feel completely drained. And like this week, I'm teaching 15 sessions. This is the second week I'm teaching 15 sessions a week. And I feel like completely drained. Like,
yeah, you do a lot more than I do.
And I feel, as Niamh was mentioning, that the mental or the thoughts or the mental sort of well-being can affect our body. And that's what I think I feel. I've never experienced it this way as I feel now, but I think it's a combination of other things going on in life.
Definitely, yeah.
But I feel physical pain in joints. And it's not because of exercise.
No.
It's not because of the amount of hours I was teaching. I think it's the sort of mental draining things where just I feel like my body is not really feeling well. So it's very interesting.
It is interesting. I mean, it's like Niamh, sorry, I can't pronounce your name. About I get physical issues, like tummy aches and headaches. That's what happened last week. I got headaches. I couldn't see properly through one eye. So I was getting that zigzag things, migraines. And I was doing that while I was doing Tuesday morning's class. And I thought, oh my God, I got this. I can't see properly. But I was fine. I sort of worked. Well, that takes energy out of you, wasn't it? When you don't feel great and you're teaching and you have to sort of act that you're fine. That is really soul destroying. Well, anyway, what the point I'm making is I've had lots of tests the past couple of years with the doctors, with the GPs, going to the hospital, and they found nothing. Yeah. So it is here. It's not in the mind. It's happening. You get that pain, don't you? You get those physical issues.
But for this reason, like, I know I took this extra job for 3 weeks, so I know it will be gone. Now I know I shouldn't take it. So next time I'm a little bit more clever, like, okay, this is basically my limit. I can't do the same amount of hours as I used to do 5 years ago. but also my weekends are like I do nothing. Literally, like I'm resting, I'm listening to my body. If I want to go for a walk, I will go for a walk. But if I don't feel like to go for a walk, I wouldn't go for a walk. I'll be just doing other things which feels like good to do, or basically just doing nothing, resting, lying down, watching telly, just whatever I feel like it's necessary to little bit recharge. I'm not going to recharge 100%. I know it. I feel a little bit better to sort of carry on. But even though it's even more important in our jobs to have those well-being tasks first in the diary.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Because it will catch up with us at some point.
Yes.
If we don't do it on a regular basis.
Yeah, that's true.
Because of basically we are giving energy to people, but we are not receiving anything back usually.
Yeah.
No, not that much, as much as we need. Exactly. And then we feel a little bit frustrated because we are not receiving, but it drains us as well.
It does. Yeah.
That's why we need
I do. Yeah. I also do a class on protecting your energy, so kind of psychic protection, so not allowing other people's energy to enter into yours, and also how you because I mean, teaching can be draining because you're constantly on your feet, you're thinking, you're having to, and especially, I mean, I teach maths, so it's slightly different to because you're doing physical teaching, but it's still to say you're still hopping on your feet, you're still looking for, like in maths we would call them misconceptions. I presume for you it's alignment and posture that you're looking at and making corrections, and then thinking if somebody's not doing it quite correct, you're having to constantly come up with different ways of explaining the same thing, because obviously everybody's a different kind of learner, so we don't all get it the same way. So that can be mentally draining. Preparation is really key in that as well. So if you can imagine, before you go to do a class, and the I think, do you call them postures in Pilates as well, or the movements you're going to do? If you know your sequences of movements, if you can think before you go to do that class, what are the possible misalignments or posture things that people will have, or that I know from experience I've seen before, you can have those already in mind, so you can address them immediately. You're not constantly on the spot thinking, oh, somebody's got their leg here and it should be there. You know automatically that their leg is out of alignment. You just say to them, you need to do this or you need to do that. So a lot of it, I mean, I've been teaching for years. So, I mean, I know you have as well, Bonnie, but we forget this as well, that a lot of this is in our preparation, that when we're teaching, like when I do my planning for teaching, I have to have a paragraph on misconceptions. So I have to write what the misconceptions I think the children will come up with, and how I'm going to address those misconceptions in the class, so that they're not left hanging over for another day. We address them there. And that's a really useful thing to have in your planning as well.
I feel, I don't know exactly what you mean, but yes, we do have this, but I don't know if it's like, I start always classes which I don't know, people I don't know. I start with completely basic, so I see those misconceptions, so I see what we are struggling with the basics, because obviously I can't move on if we don't get the basics. I address it at the beginning, but then obviously we are moving in a different posture, so there are more misconceptions, more things to address. So kind of addressing actually those misconceptions the whole session. Especially if it's not my class, because obviously I train my people. Like if I have my regular classes or people in my class, I teach them well the basics at the beginning, so we don't have these issues. But when I'm covering the class, the people don't know the basics, so I'm basically the whole session addressing things. Obviously I can do a little bit like I would call it cheating, where I just don't address every single thing. I'll be just talking through, this is the issue, this is what you need to do, rather than me physically correcting or me putting more effort of explaining in different ways and so on, because that drains the energy. Then I get stuck in different ways.
Mm.
Yeah, well, it's all about protecting ourselves and protecting your own energy, and changing your habits so that you're at your very best. And then, if sleep, I mean, if you need 9 hours sleep in a night, the body maybe that needs, mind you, that like there's only 24 hours in a day. We need to stretch the day by another like 6 hours, maybe, don't we?
Ideally.
Yes. Yeah.
Ideally. Brilliant session. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Yes,
Thank
both
you.
of you. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think I ought to come off the computer, otherwise I won't sleep.
Yeah.
No, I won't say that.
We all need to come off the computer
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
close our diary.
Yeah.
We leave the task for tomorrow.
Yeah,
We write down our positives from today.
yeah,
So we
Yeah.
feel good about ourselves when we go to bed. I think it will be a good idea to have Isabel, if you are reading at night, to have a little notebook next to your bed and
Yes.
write it down, those positives, when you go
all right.
to bed.
Yeah, before I go, yes.
So
just-
your
yeah.
brain is thinking about positives, not negatives, not
Okay, yeah.
the task that you left, which
Yeah.
the list is always huge. But the positives you really achieved that day.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
basically, once you close your planner or diary, you just close it for the day. That's it. You have it there. It's not going to
Yes.
go away, unfortunately.
Well, no, it's not, is it?
But it's there. You open it the next day, and it's like, okay, new day.
Yeah.
What do
Yeah,
I have to do
exactly.
today?
Yeah.
Everything that was meant to be done today got done today.
Yes. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So write that at the top of your thing as
Yes.
well.
Exactly. Brilliant. Thank you so much for
You're welcome.
brilliant training. And we did some brainstorming as well, how to cope with our issues, which we all
Yes,
have.
we did. Yes,
Right.
yeah.
They don't go away if we don't do anything about them. So
No.
that's
No,
the
it is.
takeaway from today. I'll stop
Yeah.
the recording.